Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday. Hopefully it's a great day today. We're going to make it a great day today. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jen Polson, and I just really wanted to get to hop on here and do an energy and mindset balance just to get our week started off. So thank you for being here. I love helping people overcome like the things that are holding them, those struggles and those fears, worries, and doubts that can really get in the way of our success and like really knowing who we are, what our purpose is. So that's the kind of work that I do, and it. So I just wanted to hop on here today and do a little kind of mini session and get you ready for the week. Okay, so for those of you that have some essential oils, you can go ahead and get your Melaleuca oil. Melaleuca is such a great boundary oil. And we're going to be talking about, just for a minute, about how you can like not absorb so much of the stuff that's going on in the world right now. I was just talking to a friend of mine this morning and talking about how, her husband is always telling her all the latest statistics about the virus and how overwhelming it can feel and how it can feel like when is it going to end, and that can really make a difference in our mindset. If we're looking at those numbers all the time, and that fear and worry can just creep up on us. And Melaleuca is a way that you can have some kind of like boundaries, like energetic, emotional boundaries, so that you can hear what's going on, but not absorb like all the fear around it. So I like to put this over my heart, the back of my neck, on my wrists, like anywhere where you might feel like you're hanging on to overwhelm. That's a good oil to use and a good way wherever you feel intuitive that you want to put it. Forgive oil is another oil that I've been using a lot of, especially on my heart. And I want to talk a little bit about why I have been using Forgive oil. So let's first start by just taking some deep breaths, okay? I can, as people are coming on, I can feel some of the emotions and the nerves that people have and some of the overwhelm that you've been carrying. So I want you to just start off by putting your hand on your heart. A lot of times when we're in that worry state of mind or state of being, we can get a little disconnected from our heart. So putting your hand over your heart is a good way to just kind of feel connected again. And so just take some deep breaths as you are just thinking about where you're holding some overwhelm in your body. Just let's have that intention of just releasing any of that fear, worry, and doubt. Just breathe through that. We have so many different emotions, a lot of unknown going on right now, and it creates some unrest in our hearts and in our bodies. But the thing that's so important to remember is that we are not our emotions. Our emotions can move through us if we're intentional about that. And this is one way that you can have that, is just by putting your hand on your heart and taking some breaths. Just breathe, kind of get settled into your body. Okay, you can feel everybody's nervous systems quieting down. Okay, so I want you to think about what emotions you've been feeling. Okay, sometimes I'll sit down and just write them out. So if you want to put them in the comments, I'm not going to be addressing comments right now, but I'll go back and I will look at the comments and respond. But if you want to write down some of the things that you've been feeling or type out, you can make a list on your own if you want to. And this would be a really good thing to do with your children too. It's like, how are you feeling? And just let those feelings be acknowledged, because that's a way that they're able to release. Okay. So I'm going to just share a couple experiences that happened at our home over the weekend, where I realized, wow, there's a lot of emotions going on. And as much as I'm trying to stay positive and see the good in everything, like so many of you are doing as well, I realized that there are some stuck emotions that I had been having, as well as my kids. So my daughter Jill and I were watching a movie the other night, and she was sharing this experience with me that she was up in her room earlier or the night before, and she just started randomly crying. She's like, I was randomly crying thinking about Texas Roadhouse rolls. Like, I just really wanted some Texas Roadhouse rolls. And that's a restaurant that's in Utah. I don't know where else it is, but she's out here now. And so we were just kind of laughing about how, she had this emotional experience because she was thinking about Texas Roadhouse rolls, but the tears just didn't make any sense. And then later the next day, she and I were, I guess it was later that evening, we were watching a movie, and I was taking her, putting my hand on her wrist, trying to find her pulse. I don't know why. We were just goofing around. And then all of a sudden she was laughing, and I'm like, what are you laughing about? And she told me about a friend of hers who in 5th grade passed out when the teacher had them find their pulses. As soon as she felt her pulse, she just passed out. And for some reason, I went into hysterics about that. That's not really something that I would normally do, but I was kind of observing what was happening. And it was like, oh my gosh, I have all this stress that's pent up, that's just coming out in this situation where I found, this story so funny about this girl passing out, and she was in 5th grade feeling her own pulse. Yesterday I went for a walk in the morning, and I came back and I felt good. I went by myself, but I walked back into my house and I felt so agitated. And there was stuff left out in the kitchen, and my daughter Grace just got the brunt of it. And we had this shouting match, and I said some hurtful things. She told me some truth that I didn't really want to hear. And we kind of parted our ways, and she came back down a little later. And, as I was thinking about that, I was like, wow, I feel so agitated, and I didn't realize I was holding on to this stress. And she came down, and we were able to have a really honest communication, a conversation where she said how she was feeling, and I was able to share my perspective on some things, and we came to some common ground, and it ended up being a very healing experience. And I'm just sharing all of that with you because, anything is normal right now, okay? And we don't want to be stuck in some kind of victim mentality, but we also don't want to be ignoring the feelings that are moving through us. Hopefully, we don't want those to get stuck. So if you've been having some weird emotional outbursts, whether it's tears, laughter, anger, I want you to just take a step back and forgive yourself for any of those conflictual things that are happening with emotions, but also recognize that your body and your heart and your mind is trying to release some of those emotions, release that stress. And then also recognize that there can be some healing miracles in that as well. And so just allowing yourself a lot of grace. Okay. So today for our mindset reset, I wanted to do like a heart, kind of like a heart meditation. And as I say the words in this little meditation, I want you to put your hands on your heart. And, for those of you who love essential oils and have some handy, find an essential oil that you want to put on your heart. Like I've been using this doTERRA Hope one a lot as well. I put that on my heart. And, or cypress is another good one because that's like the oil of motion and flow. So it can help your emotions stay in flow instead of getting stuck. Okay. So put your hands on your heart, and I want you to take some deep breaths and just really, if you can, close your eyes. And we're going to just get your heart all nice and just balanced, and we're going to release some stress. So just breathe, okay? And trust that the emotions are moving. Trust the feelings that you're of peace, okay, that can come into your heart, all right? Okay, so close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and just take some deep breaths. Feel the beating of your heart. Feel the energy of your heart. Notice if your heart is feeling a little deflated, and just breathe life into that. Take a nice big breath. And as you tune into your heart today, take a breath and let's just release any trauma energy. Okay, any trauma from your childhood, any trauma from adulthood, any trauma that you've been feeling, during this whole experience with being in quarantine. Just breathe that and let that trauma energy just pass through and release. I want to acknowledge that and release it with love. Okay. Now, with this next breath, thank your heart for all that it has done for you, all that it has carried you through, what it has taught you. Thank it for the things that you've recovered from and that you are recovering from. Thank it for the strength that it has gained, and think about the strength that it is gaining. Send your heart some gratitude, some love and light as you honor all it's done for you over the years. How it's kept beating nonstop. How no matter how sad or how hurt it's been, it's just kept on beating. It's kept beating through your joy and excitement. Think about how it's kept going through all of your ups and downs. It's been with you as a constant. It's received divine truth and inspiration. It's leading you on your unique path, even during the times where you detour. Take a big breath and think about how capable of so many beautiful experiences, including the miracle of forgiveness. Your heart is so capable. Your heart will heal and become stronger if you let it. And even in the times you have your heart walls up, it patiently, lovingly waits. It waits for you to be ready to open up again. Your heart is there as a safe place for you to rest. It is there to support you and being your beautiful divine self. Your heart is there to show you what is known all along, that you are divine, that you matter, that you're more than enough. It's there to remind you that you are worthy of more happiness and abundance than you've ever imagined, that you are strong, wise, and resilient. It's there to remind you that the more you learn to love and honor yourself, the better life gets. It's there to remind you that you are worthy of love, honor, and respect from others, whether they give it to you or not. It's there to remind you that you get to choose to surround yourself with people who love, honor, and respect you. It's there to remind you that love is always with you and within you. Love supports and honors you. You can use your love and God's love to heal every part of your life and your world. You are already in the divine flow of love. You just have to choose it. Your heart loves you. It can't be broken. It's strong. It keeps beating. It keeps going. It's showing you that you can keep going too. And as you keep going, let your heart walls down. Keep choosing to forgive and keep choosing love. Love your life. Every part of it will keep getting better and better. Keep loving and honoring your heart by being grateful for all it has done, is doing, and will keep doing for you. Take a nice big breath. Let's release any fear, worry, and doubt about your heart and what it's capable of. Take a breath on that. Let's release any generational programming that's told you that it's not safe to have an open heart. Let's just release that. Take a big breath on that. And let's release any other false beliefs that you have about your heart and what it's capable of. Take a big breath on that. Okay, you guys, you are set for an amazing week this week. You are set to have an open heart that is telling you and guiding you what's next, that's giving you hope, that's showing you that you can keep going. So practice this week taking care of your heart, paying attention to it. If your heart is guiding you to reach out to somebody, if it's giving you some new ideas about your business, your relationship, what's next for you, write those things down, okay? Your heart does not lie. So take a nice big breath. We'll just have that one last connecting breath to the heart. And have an amazing day today. Okay, love you guys.